So Sedgehun, so Bazik was talking about this. So far Sedgehun has played Sedge and Ragna this tournament. So I think what happened was Bazik banned both of them to see what commander Sedge would pick in this situation. So he's gone with Valder.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't looked at the bans yet.
And that has given Bazik Caesar, who is actually commonly regarded as the third best commander in the game right now, below the two banned ones. Like, so he's the best below the two auto banned ones.
Yeah, I definitely remember that being said, that Caesar has been banned himself before, I believe.
Yeah,
I don't know why I have
banned in
this
some
like vague
events,
memory.
but typically players will ban him.
Gotcha.
And when that in GoW4 3, whenever Caesar was available to pick, both players would pick him.
Gotcha.
But Sedge is an incredibly skilled player, and Valder is not a bad commander at all. So we're gonna see like how much work he can get out of playing Valder in this situation.
It would appear to be half past Skelly time.
It is, in fact, galley time coming up. And Bazik just move his units forward. One thing I'm keeping an eye on here is the clock as well. So we are, of course, catching up to the players who I think are still playing in real time. But if we take a look at the clock, both of these players are taking their turns very quickly. Gets a nice night crit on Caesar with the knight, so, and the second knight to follow up, so anything that hits
from your grave.
The first knight is also going to receive a crit to the face, which is quite good. And a very aggressive positioning from Valder as well.
Yeah. Gets his own counter, goes down to 3. Ooh, spooky. And there's a golem to follow up from Bazik on the right side.
Yep. But both players just being really aggressive on like the sides. Actually no, I'd say both players. Sedgehun's just being really aggressive in general. Runs back and heals Valder, because yeah, of course you have to in that kind of situation.
Yeah. Well, now this entire like northwest quadrant of the map for Sedge is just free real estate, really.
Yeah, he has enough knights that he can just pick off these villages and get captures on them. So yeah, he's in a great position on that regard. And he's just gonna get a big economic lead right now. Goes for the heal. Yeah, he needed that heal so the knight crit would guarantee KOing that village. And just gets a bunch of decaps, which is quite good. I think he actually could have decapped the 3 health village that's on that road there, but not going to go for that yet.
I don't know how much value it's worth either, because there are like the spears right there to flip it back. Obviously you're denying a turn of income, but I don't know.
But if we look at like the economics, like I can't go into overview right now, but that bottom right village hasn't been taken by Bazik, whereas Sedge has the top left. He's now controlling more of these water villages, so...
Rise from your grave.
Getting a lot of skellies out. The Caesar has Groove up, which is an absolutely terrifying thing. And that's why Valder is now surrounded by an entire army of everything.
Yeah, and there's a golem there too that you could potentially refresh. So this is going to be a spooky turn. I think it's very livable though.
Yeah, he's put enough cannon fodder in front to survive anything that tries to go through, but still a lot of damage that can come out here.
It's a little interesting that golem went north to deal with the 1 skelly instead of diving onto Valder, but sets it up for the nice night crit. Oh!
Takes out the balloon. Just does a lot of damage that turn. But Valder's gonna live, and there's a big
Yeah.
counterattack that's gonna happen here.
Loses one mage for that. A bunch of spear hit points. One thing I'd be kind of interested in seeing how much changed if you could do something a la Advance Wars. Is it you could stack 2 units and combine them to just add their health back together?
Yeah, that's one thing that's been requested a lot, but unit value comes a lot from how many you have. So,
Yeah.
like, it would be incredibly situational for that to really be worthwhile, but it is something
I
that
mean-
people have asked about a lot.
Valder's pick rate is a testament to lots of bodies mattering.
Yeah, I heard a joke about some people that were playing beta, and like they were talking about how weak his commander or Valder would be because like, oh, it's only swords. But the person I was like watching tell this story about was like, well, you know, that's a lot of swords though. Like you look at him now, he's already got Groove for like what, the 3rd time this match?
Yeah.
And this is relatively slow for Valder as well. Valder could have like 4 grooves out by this point, maybe 5 if he's like on the right map. And Bazik, he's having to spend a lot of these spears just to like chomp down through these swords that have a lot of more like heavy units behind them. Those dogs are going to be absolutely brutal.
That dragon's gonna start rampaging as well because there's really no. There are 2 mages. Okay. I didn't see the one next to that village.
Rise from your grave.
Rise from your grave. That's probably going to go back and hit the archer. Yeah. Sword to archer is always a great trade, like really good money value. Like you're losing what, 30 gold worth of health? On a
Not
sword?
even because that was a free sword, so it's just strictly value.
Yeah, but equivalent to 30 gold against like an archer that's worth 500, so it did like 300 damage
Yeah.
or something. So yeah, it's like super good. Yeah, Bazik's just trying to like grind through this army, which he seems to be doing an okay job of. Like these spear lines are holding quite well, but there's still so much stuff here from Sedgehun that could just keep grinding through them.
There are multiple heartbeats down here too. Yeah, Sedge is putting together a nice little air force. There is stuff to contest. It gets gets the 1 mage on the south side, and now the dragon's starting to bop this golem.
Yeah, Night Crit follow up on that is a thing of beauty. And like Caesar has Groove now, but he doesn't really have a whole lot of army to Groove.
Yeah.
And that's like the big weakness of Caesar. If you can just kill enough of his good units, then he doesn't get much out of his Groove. That said, like spears are going to do a lot of damage here.
Yeah, they get the chain crits down here in their little line.
And it appears we're in real time now.
Bruh.
So yeah, he's just going to think about like what is he going to line up with Caesar here.
I mean, is there an argument to maybe not firing it off this turn and rearranging your stuff so you can have a really aggressive spear turn? Because right now they're kind of awkward for that.
Maybe, but there is like a couple of good plays. Like he could move this mage forward slightly and then groove that plus like let's say the knight runs in and hits Valder once, and you could groove both of them. So like the mage would get a free hit on the dragon. There are 2 dragons out now, so that's like a really dangerous play to try and go for. Just looking at it, it might actually be best for him to hold Groove. Sedgehun just has so much value. I mean, I'm gonna go to the overview for the first time in a while. Ooh, goes for the damage.
I'm actually kind of surprised that Archer moved because I believe it had the crit.
I think he wants to groove the archer.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Run down in the center here. Caesar's only going to be exposed from one side if that's the case.
A lot of dragons that can attack on that side though. And chat is currently mostly talking about whether Sedge
I was just
is a
watching
good,
that too.
yeah, whether Sedge is actually a good commander or not. Like, do you ban Sedge? Because I mean, so far, it's not really working out for people. I mean, I look at the overview right now. Sedgehun has a lead, and Bazik's behind on the end of his turn. And like a balanced map or balanced match in this game always is like you feel like you're losing at the start of your turn and you're winning at the end. And if you're behind on the end of your turn, then not a place you want to be.
Yeah. Seems like comebacks are difficult to manage.
And to me this turn is kind of awkward because it looks like he decided to go all in at the end there, but he didn't. He built his units first, so he couldn't do something like bank for a mage heal just in case. And I think he's just going to sacrifice these units.
Yeah, this is not what I was expecting either. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one.
I think actually a lot of this army is just going to die this turn.
Yep, night crit. Clean that up. Nice spear line, nerd. Be a shame if somebody crit it.
Killed the entire thing, yeah. Got 2 dragons still to like use before the end of his turn. In theory, he could kill a lot of these mages as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, there's the heal, so I think Valder and maybe the knight kill the mage, and then the dragons just run unchecked.
Yeah, like I think the dog would follow up and kill the mage. Oh no, he's just gonna raise. Skelly dudes. And I really like that play from the archer. Just allows the dragon to get the kill without taking a counter hit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sword kills that. Probably gonna see the dog kill the mage. Oh, harpy kills mage. Interesting. But there's actually so few units left now that...
Yeah, and I mean, like, next turn, sure, you can argue that the alchemist or the mage is going to come in and shoot the harpy, but I don't... Who cares? Because you're just going to lose it next turn anyway.
Yeah. And, like, captures the village as well, so, like, that's even less income on Bazik's side. And yeah, people in chat are making the point, and I agree that Bazik no longer has anything to inspire, so...
Well, what are Bazik's outs here?
He can
Hope
witch.
for a divine intervention.
Yeah, he can use witch. He can use like a mage to kill harpy. But this like the Hail Mary play is you kill the commander, but there's just so much army in front of him that even if everything on this board got to attack twice, like let's say Caesar inspired the entire map, that wouldn't be enough.
Yeah, there's literally a legion of undead in front of this.
I think he's gonna try and go for some kind of inspire play this turn. But he also looks incredibly dead, so the unit count
Yeah, I
difference
mean,
is
on a scale from 1 to dead.
yeah, he's at a 9 unit deficit right now, which I think is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's about his army. So Sedge has twice the amount of units on the map right now.
Well, he did squeeze out a trebuchet. And it's not quite gonna be enough to cover this next turn.
Yeah, I think maybe he's gonna try and go for some Treb Inspire shenanigans, but I mean, a dragon will just fly over and kill the Treb before it can do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's too little too late.
And I see him moving that barge as well, and like, I think the dragon could just fly over and kill it if it really wanted to. And this is how you know a player is like really confident about their position, is after their opponent's taking quite a long time to think about their turn, they're just moving units straight away.
Right.
Like, all of this was calculated ahead of time. Like, he just spent his opponent's entire turn thinking about how he would spend his turn.
You're telling me when it's my opponent's turn on the chess clock, I'm not supposed to just zone out and think about cats?
There are players who will wait until their opponent finishes their turn, look at the entire board state, and just go over it, rather than thinking about it in, like, real time during the match. Can't actually hit that barge for free with the dragon, unfortunately. There's the mage covering it. But I don't know if he really cares at this point. Valder doesn't need to be that far forward. I think he could actually safely just walk his commander back to his side of the map and let his army finish everything else off. Because yeah, we're now looking at a 14 unit deficit for Bazik, and it's not just like there's a lot of really cheap units on one side, it's actually there's dragons, there's a legion of mages. He's got 4 mages backing his army up, so if anything does get damaged pretty heavily, he can just heal it to full and attack with it this turn. Even having to like spend his his army just has to surround his headquarters because he'll just lose otherwise.
Right.
But 2 dragons can attack Caesar right now. So I think he's just dead.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for anything, but...
Yeah, Bazik can't even really do much this turn. Whereas like Sedgehun, or I guess in this case Valder will continue his slow march forwards. He sets up a knight for a crit on the village in the top, because why not?
Well, it's a classic day 9 mantra, right? When you're ahead, get more ahead.
That's very true, and like, you could go full on attack this turn, like just try and kill Caesar, and still like not lose enough on the counter attack to that. I don't know why he's moving Valder forward. This is something I'm not a huge fan of. Okay, like the trebuchet, like the barge is on the one tile that doesn't have a beach, so the treb can't move onto it. So he can't set up some like shenanigans with that. But yeah, I'm not really sure about why he's moving Valder forward at all.
I mean, I guess the only argument that I can think of is if you just want your skeletons to start on the front line so they can attack right away, but...
He's still 3 turns away from building Groove. I think the game's over by that point, so...
Right, and like, you have better units to occupy that same space.
Yeah.
At this point.
And he still has dragons left. He can do whatever he wants with these. He's just gonna be really safe and not use them. I guess the dragon on the right actually positions to take out the trebuchet. And the one on the left is just a nice safe position for it to be. So he's just decided, I'm just gonna play this really safe. I'm not gonna take any risks. I have a massive lead. Caesar can't. He doesn't have enough to inspire. And things like he has a witch, but there's like 4 mages on this army front line.
Yeah. There's money, I guess, to like Hex, Inspire Hex, but that doesn't do anything really either.
Yeah. So, I think Caesar is like relatively safe from dying. Oh, wait, no. Never mind. Because Mage can now suicide into Caesar to set up a... And he has a sword. He has a bunch of swords to do the same. So, Sedge now has like the most dangerous weapon in the game, which is called low health units. Where you just kamikaze them into the enemy commander and get enough damage.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe it's the other argument for keeping Valder kind of close to the front is if you need sword crits, it gives you the option to.
Oh, that's also a good point, which I hadn't really thought of. Is he could kill the dog with Valder, and then use that to get sword crits on Caesar. But I think Caesar is very dead this turn.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's another case of like there are better options here, but it's on the table.
Yeah, he has an archer as well, which I'd kind of forgotten about. So, and I believe Witch is in range for Hex, so he's gonna suicide one mage. Yeah, he's just gonna suicide the swords. He's not gonna do any like fancy like sword crit shenanigans. That brings Caesar down to 69% health.
Nice.
Absolutely perfect, yeah. Caesar is now open on 3 sides. Yeah, he gets hexed as well, 59%. One dragon takes him on a high roll, takes him down to 17. So there's no way. Oh, and Sedge always does this. He's a very style player or style heavy player where he will always like kill as much as he can before he goes for the...
And gets the commander kill as well. With Valder, I guess I should say.
Yeah, although my game just bugged. Oh, there we go. Right. I think the server just took a moment. But in probably the heaviest combat game we've seen so far, that's a lot more kills than I've been seeing in other matches. Sedgehun takes it over Bazik and is now 3-0 in his group, which means he'll be up against Master of Math next week to see who takes first place in their pool.